RMIT University has been a part of the Juniper Networks Academic Alliance since 2008, and as a part of this relationship we've been able to benefit from donations from Juniper in terms of laboratory equipment, which has given our students a real-world hands-on experience of network engineering. And this boot camp is another part of that training to make sure that our graduates are ready to go out into the workforce.
The Network Engineering Group at RMIT University welcomes Juniper Networks' participation in the boot camp at RMIT. This provides our students with an opportunity to learn the latest techniques and approaches used with networking within the cloud and enterprise, where many of our students gain their employment today. By being involved with large organisations and suppliers and vendors, our interaction with Juniper Networks has benefited our students, and they've gone on to great careers within network engineering. And we thoroughly encourage the students at this exciting time to look for every opportunity that they can within the enterprise and cloud space, an area which Juniper Networks is a world leader.
RMIT University is really pleased to work with Juniper Networks in hosting this 4-day boot camp. We believe that the students will learn a lot by undertaking the workshop, and it will place them in a better position for employment after graduation.
Good morning, and thank you for coming. I really do appreciate you coming out to do this. I know you're doing it on your own time. This is probably the second or third time now in the last couple of years that I've been with Juniper that we're putting it on. It's very important for both of us. The main reason is that the industry is really going through a very radical change at the moment. Has been for the last 2 or 3 years, and probably going to continue to do so. I won't give away my age, but I probably have kids in the same age groups as yourself. A lot of them have come through RMIT, so I'm very proud to be associated personally with RMIT at a professional level as well as having put the kids through. But when I joined the industry quite a little while ago, and it's probably over 20 years now, 1275 board modems, WANs were not really, or wide area networks weren't really what they were, and the concept of a local area network that you have today really wasn't there. We were using asynchronous printer switches, don't worry about all that sort of stuff, and we had little floppy disks, and I'm talking the little floppy disk being that we'd just gone from the 5s to the 3.5s, and a 286 machine was important, and Novell was something that was just being released. We now take LANs and WANs for granted, and the sort of stuff that you're doing is fairly powerful. And what I've watched in my 20 plus years in the industry now is that the last 10 years has been the most exciting time that I've been in it, and I'm really looking forward to the next 10 years, especially because of the fact that technology is now designing technology, and the tools that we have allow us to accelerate that path. And one of the things that's really exciting about what you're about to get into in the industry is you're coming into an industry where we as an industry acknowledge that we need a lot of the grey heads to be married up with the people with the knowledge of the last 5-10 years in networking and data centres and what they've been doing, but we also need the skill sets that are coming through from people like yourself. So the new scripting languages and the know-how when it comes to those sorts of things. So you're entering the industry at a very, very important time for us. To give you by example, more recently, it's only about 3 weeks ago, and you may hear it from one of the other speakers, we had a hackathon with Telstra the very first time. The challenge that we have in the industry now is that we've got a lot of telemetry on the boxes. Automation is becoming more and more important, so manually interfering with the network is no longer seen as the way to do things. And we had an automation hackathon. They brought some of their best and brightest along, and what was really, really interesting to watch was three things. One, young and old were all pushed outside of their comfort zone. It was probably the universal theme. Secondly, the teams that won their projects and the 4 or 5 products that came out of that Telstra is now hardening, which some of them are going to save them hundreds of millions of dollars, came from the collaboration of the grey heads and the young, because the skill sets that the people like yourself bring along and have brought in, and some of their grads have brought in, married with the know-how of the people that have been running those networks for years, meant that they were able to use the know-how, but with the new tooling and the new expertise. And some of the older guys obviously didn't have your skill sets when it comes to the coding of some of the new languages and other bits and pieces. And I suppose some of us, as we get older, we start to fear some of the new technology and some of the tools will be set in your way. So that's, look, again, you're at a very exciting point, and we will continue as Juniper to do these sorts of things. The other thing is, at the end of the day, the reason it's important you've made the time is that the course you're doing today, those that complete it and certify, the certification has quite a bit of value in the marketplace. At the end of the day, to give you an idea for those that don't know Juniper, we are number 1 or number 2 in our chosen spaces of routing, security and switching. Customers of ours are, well, I suppose they're very topical at the moment, but Uber, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon, IBM all run their cloud infrastructure on our switching and routing as well as our security. Customers like Telstra, NBN, Optus, Vodafone, both here and in New Zealand, right across the world, and a lot of the top 100 service providers around the world also run our networks and all the rest of it. So that certification that you pick up from doing this means that you will walk into either a large enterprise, and we have a lot of the big banks and Department of Defence uses our equipment, Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, and again, you can pick probably any of the top 300 customers, the Coles, the Kmarts, they all use the technology. So getting the certification is something that's going to be very, very valuable on your resume. Not only is it seen as something that will probably give you an advantage in the marketplace from a selection point of view, but it's also seen as something extremely valuable. If you didn't have it, you'll find that most employers will probably, one of the first things they'll do is get you to do a certification with one of the 2 or 3 major vendors of which we're one. So taking the time out today is not a waste for you. It's something that I would put on your resume straight away if you got the certification and be very, very proud of. So with that, I'll hand back and good luck with it and enjoy the next couple of days. Thank you.
Thank you.
Firstly, I'd like to thank Juniper and Ralph and his team for the amazing effort and the amount of work they've gone to put together this workshop. It really is a fantastic opportunity for you all, and you've got to make the most of it. So I know there's going to be rounds of applause throughout the event, but could you give a really loud round of applause now to Juniper to thank them for their effort for the workshop that we're going to do over the next few days. Now, to some extent, what I was going to say in my opening remarks, Ralph covered, which is, of course, perfectly fine. But I just wanted to add a couple of important points. Firstly, this is the second time that with RMIT, Juniper has run this event. We ran the first boot camp with Juniper a couple of years ago, back in mid-2015. And about the same number of students took part, about 130 students. And out of those, 100 actually gained a certification by taking the examinations on the last day. And hopefully we have a similar, if not higher number this year. RMIT has actually been a member of what they call the Juniper Networks Academic Alliance since 2018. So we're nearly up to our 10th birthday. And RMIT is actually the only Australian university in that alliance where we're undertaking both teaching activities as well as research with Juniper. So we actually have a very strong and deep relationship with Juniper, and that's reflected by this workshop or boot camp that you're doing over the next couple of days. We also thank Juniper because they're actually a sponsor of some of the prizes and scholarships within our school, and of course that's always valued. So again, Ralph, thank you very much. Look, obviously, as Ralph said, it's really important that you do these sorts of activities, these extracurricular things, because this is what's really going to make the difference for you getting your dream job, whatever it is. Ralph mentioned the types of companies that Juniper are working with, and really the choice is yours in terms of the sorts of company that you might want to work for. But by doing this, you certainly put yourself in the driver's seat when you come and apply for your first job straight after graduation. And just bear that in mind. Really enjoy the boot camp, get the most out of it. Make sure you stay engaged throughout the entire period. Ask lots of questions, okay? And I'm sure you're going to have a fantastic few days. Well done on enrolling on it. Hopefully you have a lot of fun and you learn a lot. Have a great day.
And finally, I'd like to introduce you to Professor James Scott, who is the head of the discipline and responsible for this event.
Thanks, Mark. Hi everyone. Once again, I'd like to echo Ralph and Adrian's comments. I hope you really get a lot of benefit out of doing this course. I think coming into the telecommunication and network engineering area, as Ralph said, you're really coming into it in a very exciting time, because not only are networks the backbone of our telecommunication systems that we've got, but they're also quite clearly going to be the backbone of the Internet of Things that's starting to arise. So as cities develop and become more intelligent, we have sensor networks scattered all over the place, collecting data about all sorts of things. That data's got to be sent back through networks and collated in central data systems. So I think the opportunities that you've got career-wise in this space are really incredible. And so I hope you get a lot out of this boot camp today and really enjoy the next 4 days, and especially that you do the certification at the end, because as has been said, this is going to be really beneficial to you when you're looking for a job once you graduate. So thank you.
Thank you, James. At this point, I'd like to finally welcome you all and declare the event open. And I'll hand you over to the Juniper training staff. Thank you.
Well, Juniper Networks is 20 years old this year, and we started life in Silicon Valley many years ago. And our founder at the time realised that the scale of the internet that was ahead was going to be one of the biggest challenges we were going to have. And we started with separating the control plane from the data plane. And 20 years on, we're now 10,000 employees worldwide, and very proud to be in a lot of service provider networks around the planet, as well as some of the new disruptive technology companies that are out there, such as the Googles, the Facebooks, the Amazons, as well as the Ubers and the Teslas and the like. So yeah, very exciting times for the company, predominantly in the routing, switching and security space.
And this is just the beginning.